if you like them and you're looking for some positive reactions or positive reception,
this ain't it. Oh.
Hello from quarantine, everybody. We are like over a month in at this point. I got really fixated on this and I really wanted to watch it just to see. We're gonna be taking a look at Kaachi's debut track.
K-pop.
Essentially, Kaachi is a London-based K-pop group signed to Front Row Records, which is a London-based label. So they're not Korean. They live in London and they signed with a London agency and they film and promote in London. So by my standards, which I don't think are that high compared to some people's, they're not a K-pop group. Obviously we have a bias here and it's against this. And I'm welcoming the opportunity to be proven wrong. How are you feeling about this?
I'm not excited. I was trying to avoid it and then you were just like, oh my god, let's watch it. I don't want to be here. I have no interest in this. I have not watched it or heard it, but I've seen other people sort of mention it and it was not positive in any way and I'm just like,
we're gonna see. I just kind of like, I want to see where the bar is at now because we had Chad Future who was bad, terrible. The instrumentals were bad. The Korean was atrocious. He was just some white dude that took it upon himself to bridge the gaps between K-pop and the American music industry. Oof. EXP Edition, another one. And they kind of pulled the same thing where they were like, we have an Asian member, so we're a legitimate K-pop group. No. We'll go into why that is at the end. But yeah, I'm gonna try to come up with some positive things to say instead of just shitting on them, coming up with some stuff that they can work on. Danielle is probably just gonna go at these fools 100% and rake them over the coals. So if that's not something you want to see, I'm sorry.
bye.
Go watch another reaction, I guess.
Yeah, you can click away right now. It's fine.
Also, this is fair use, so if they try to claim this or anything because we said bad stuff about them, I will be making a video about that. And I will be reviewing my legal options. So just so you know, fair use applies here. We're being transformative with the work and we're not claiming ownership over the song or the video. We don't own those. We're just reacting to those, which is covered under fair use. The song is called Your Turn and it's by Kaachi. Kaachi means like unity in Korean.
Kaachi?
That's what they said at me.
Oh, that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
I hate it already.
So you're gonna, I know you're gonna be taking special care to pay attention to the Korean, and I'm gonna pay attention to the dancing and like the cinematography.
Yeah, I'll definitely be listening to vocals as well.
Yeah, same.
Given my history as a vocalist.
I'll probably have more input onto the rap side of things, yeah. But we are gonna give this a thorough examination and overview. And I'm more than happy to like eat my words if it ends up being a good song. But I just doubt that that's going to happen. So without further ado.
Before we even start though, I will say one thing. The hair colors are super cute. I would 100% do those hair colors just like that, the half and half. However, the dye job, just right off the bat, is incredibly shoddy. You can see
where it faded already.
Yeah, it's bad. That's bad.
When you are a K-pop group, everything, the style, the hair, the makeup has to be super polished. And this is the first thing you see is like...
And it's bad.
I mean, it does still look cute, but it's just not to the standard that they're setting for themselves by calling themselves a K-pop group.
But anyway, let's get this over with. I'm ready to go back to my room and do nothing. So.
Let's get into it.
It's Kaachi.
Hold on. Did they say that like with an Asian accent?
They did.
That was very like, here's a stereotypical Asian accent. Like just off the bat, like those are two words and I was like,
no, make it stop.
Also the acting,
That was bad.
That ain't it, sis.
That was
I mean,
bad.
I get that it was supposed to be like cutesy, like
over dramatic,
like Girls' Generation, kind of like I Got a Boy or whatever. But that wasn't it. And we don't know these people, so we don't like care enough about what's going on in their lives that we're like already expected to know somebody's name and her boyfriend's name and that he's cheating on her. I'm supposed to get a lot from that like 10-second thing. That just was not it.
Also, though, we're literally like 1 second into like the first dance scene. It already looks like a K-pop cover group.
Yeah.
Just the way that they entered and the way it's like filmed, it looks like a K-pop cover dance video.
Just from this pause, you can tell that they're not synced up well. Let's continue. What? I know you'll be okay. Hello?
I don't want to do this anymore!
Alright, can you explain?
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Those vocals were so incredibly bad. Did y'all even have vocal training? I'm sorry, but what?
How is a talking register, like like maybe a pitch lower than a talking register, like not in your range? Like how can you be...
It wasn't even like a range issue.
How can you be flat?
It was just, like that wasn't actual singing.
But it wasn't completely in rhythm.
I don't... do we have to finish this?
Yeah. Yeah. How did you feel about the Korean?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Was the pronunciation okay?
It was quite robotic. It didn't sound very natural.
Like very sharp.
Yeah. Like, it was very...
And she's focusing on this because I can't criticize them for their Korean because A, I don't really speak it that well, and 2, I do have a really, for some reason, thick southern accent when I try to pronounce anything in Korean, so I always sound like a dumbass.
It's hilarious.
So I can't come for them when it comes to that sort of thing, but yeah.
Let's get this over with.
What is that camera work? Hello?
I really don't want to do this anymore. Was the person that directed it also someone that films dance covers?
Well...
Because it's not good at all.
Ooh. Hold on. Okay. No! Oh, he feels bad. He said hello. Oh, there she goes. She had a line.
Probably the best line in the whole song.
And it was in English.
Oh, there's that black paint.
Mm-hmm. Hip.
I will say that lavender outfit with the white boots is cute.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, not so much.
I like the magenta sequin dress.
Yeah, it's very itchy though. Honestly, that's not the worst rap I've ever heard. That one like Korea line was real blah. The rest of the English wasn't that, but it wasn't great.
It was,
At least it kind of had some sort of flow. I don't,
the rhythm wasn't bad, but it's also really hard to mess up a measure that's do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, it's very simple.
She's not good at conveying charisma or attitude, which the song is like attitude. It's like, you don't need him, girl. Like,
Yeah.
and she was not conveying that. She just seemed kind of bored. Like, she didn't want to be there, which I couldn't blame her. I wouldn't want to be there either. And I don't know who the hell was mixing this, but it was so much more quiet than the vocals. Like, I had to lean in to, like, properly hear what she was
Like, we were talking
saying.
over it because it didn't even process that something was happening in the song.
Yeah, I was like, is this a dance break? Oh,
wait.
shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get this. No! No!
Oh, the cringe.
Cringe.
Ugh.
Cringe. Whew. I don't...
Hello?
Okay, it's almost over. We can make it. Just put your head back up. You gotta put your head back up. Alright.
I just want to go back to bed.
Stock footage of a clock. Woo!
Oh, definitely seen that move before.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna go eat myself off a cliff.
that's a little dramatic.
Okay, so clearly two-tone hair girl is the face of the group.
Why?
She has a lot of close-ups. She's the actress one. The one that's doing all of that stuff.
She's in front and center for every dance break.
I mean, it makes sense. She's very cute. She has a very pretty face. I think possibly she could have some talent somewhere, but this style is just, it's cringy and it's bad, and I don't think it's a good fit for anyone unless you've been properly trained in the K-pop industry. Otherwise, it just looks cheap and fake and like a fairly decent quality dance cover. But it's just...
I was gonna say, did you want to start out with anything positive you had to say?
I did say something positive. I said she's cute. She's cute. She has a cute face. Her hair is cute. Aside from the bad dye job, that's about as good as you're gonna get from me, honestly. I'm sorry, but
Who the fuck is this poor man that they done dragged into this? And why is her face edited to look more Asian? What is that? She don't look like that. I don't care for that. Let me read this. Chunso, she thinks is all fake, said a close friend of Chunso. Goto's new mystery girl has been exposed. Celebrity Goto was caught cheating on his K-pop idol girlfriend Chunso last night.
okay, so she's Chunso?
Yeah,
Why is her name Chunso?
that's an excellent question.
She's white.
That's an excellent question.
Honey, what?
Girl.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Goto Kot has yet again been seen with another girl, making it the 5th girl this week. Oh, despite this, former girlfriend Chunso was spotted in public yesterday, making no comment on her personal relationship with Goto. It's just the same thing on the other side. Okay. How y'all gonna be English speaking and still make that completely incoherent? What? And why did you edit her face to look more Asian? I don't care for that. I really don't. She looks like a different person. I didn't care for that, like, at all. I do have some positives. I will say
Go off.
Okay. I do think that she's cute, like you said. I get a weird vibe from her, like she's particularly
Extra Koreable?
and very self-confident when she has done nothing to earn that self-confidence. Does that make sense? The talent just isn't there. It could be, in theory.
But this did not showcase it.
From left to right, Asian girl, I don't know their names. I don't know their names.
Asian girl, she was an afterthought. That's why her outfits don't match. She doesn't look like she fits in. They just threw her in last minute because they needed
she matches
an
the
Asian
rapper
girl.
right here.
They just threw her in.
But
that's my theory.
that's kind of my theory too. She just did not have any lines.
Mm-hmm.
But she was, if you looked at her, like I had to look at her in the background, she was the best at giving like face. She was the best at maintaining a facial expression and giving attitude when she was dancing.
But she didn't have like those
hands
close-ups and stuff.
But she had like one line and no close-ups. Leader girl, like you said, cute. I'm a little weirded out by her having like a Korean name. The girl next to her.
Her hair color's weird.
Like if you look at it when she's just standing there, it's a deliberate like green to blue ombre.
Yeah.
But just from a different distance, it looks bad. It looks like you just slapped blue over grown out hair where half of it was brown.
Yeah.
Because I've done that before.
Honestly, yeah, that's a mistake. It looks like it was an at-home dye job.
She should have been styled better.
They didn't style her in a way that is fitting for her body.
Yeah, it's not flattering.
They were just trying to go with something that's generic, sort of like popular in K-pop right now, but it doesn't suit her body type.
The cropped hoodie thing just bothered me the whole time because it just looked like it didn't fit, like she couldn't pull it over her boobs.
Yeah.
As opposed to it being like a deliberate thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she's like fat or anything, and I would have no room to talk if I were saying that, but like
No, that's not it at all.
She was not styled.
Yeah, her specific
appropriately.
body type doesn't fit that particular style. They should have tried something different with her.
The girl at the end, as stated previously, had an okay rap. I like the tempo and like the instrumental. I think I can say that. And I like the intent of the song. And I like how the chorus is set up to go.
Yeah.
It's just that it didn't go that way because they can't really sing.
The message is there, the fun, be confident sort of vibe is there, but it's just not backed with enough talent. I mean, there's a reason that K-pop idols train for multiple years, sometimes up to 10 years before they even debut. And it's so that things like this don't happen. Like, very rarely do you see something that's this poor quality in K-pop. Like, usually, I mean, you'll see something from, like, a smaller company that has, like, a lower quality video, but, like, strong vocals and rapping or something like that. Or, like, vice versa,
Yeah.
But very rarely do you see something that's just all around weak. All around.
If they were just a K-pop group and this was their debut track,
Flop.
they wouldn't make it out of the gate. They'd maybe have one or two comebacks. But if groups that are as genuinely talented and interesting as, like, Pristin don't make it, they definitely would not have made it.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot to work on. They are going to skate by in Korea because in Korean culture, it's considered expected of you to be polite to people when they're trying to learn or understand your language or your culture. They will, on the surface, feel flattered by this and be kind as a result. But when you think about this, you sort of have to think about it in reverse. And think about, like, K-pop groups that you have seen become successful and what those groups have in common. And it's not... I think a lot of people, especially people that try to do things like this, shout down people with criticism because they're just like, oh, you just don't like us because we're not Korean. But the K-pop industry isn't and hasn't been homogenous for a really long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So nobody's shitting on them just for being white. It's that they're
just not good.
They think that their race is the novelty. Think about any group that you actually like that has made it. They've done something innovative. Even if it's like Girls' Generation and the main thing that they did was just like dye their hair blonde. Because at one point that was groundbreaking in the industry.
Yeah.
For them, the groundbreaking thing is that they're white. And that's not actually groundbreaking because there's already white people in the industry.
Yeah.
And there already have been white people in the industry. And you see this all the time. If your only novelty that you're bringing to the genre and you're claiming it as part of your own genre is that you are of a different race than most of the people that do it and you come from a different place, then you really don't have that much to offer. And I find it weird that it is routinely white people that just do this over and over again.
It's so sad.
Routinely is white people that are just like, oh, nobody else is doing this. Well, there's a reason nobody else is doing it, because nobody's been successful. And it's funny because you see people do this and fail. And fail.
And yet they still try it again and again and again.
They don't realize, oh, I actually need to try, until they've been doing it for 2 years. Like Chad Future debuted on a really weak note. And again, he got that Korean hospitality. Oh, you're trying. Oh, your Korean's really good. Yeah. Oh, we really appreciate what you're doing. So he got it in his head that he was changing the world. But then the way that things kind of fell flat made him realize, oh, I have to work harder. I have to do this. I have to actually try. So basically, he got that initial buzz, but then he had to go right back down to the bottom and work his way back up. And then he was like, you know what? I'm just not cut out for this. This is not for me. I don't want to do this anymore. And he dipped. And you see kind of the same thing with EXP Edition. Like, when
I haven't heard anything from them in like a while since that last comeback.
They were on a music show like a couple months ago. They did like a Super Junior cover. It actually wasn't bad, like vocally. You can tell that they're actually trying.
That's the difference between them and like this though, is they actually like train in Korea. Mm-hmm. So they actually have that somewhat authentic experience of being a trainee.
But they didn't start out as trainees. They kind of did the same thing they did. Like, they formed the band and the idea, and then they just kind of debuted in Korea, and then they were like, oh, we should actually work on this.
They improved after, which is a start. You know, it's definitely an example.
But it's really infuriating because a lot of K-pop trainees that work really, really hard just to be seen once at any point and debut with a group, they don't get that luxury. They don't get to skip the line because of their race or their locale. They still have to go through the process. Yeah. Because it's harder for a Korean person to get picked out of a lineup outside of that context and make it elsewhere and then come to Korea and try to make it. That never really happens there.
Like, I guess this is just like the root of my bias as to why I'm against things like this. It's because, like you said, it's cheating your way to the top. They're not using the system the way everyone else has. They're just banking on the fact that they're white, or mostly white, and being like, oh, well, you know, you have to like us, otherwise you're racist.
That is not correct.
That is not correct. It's garbage, and I 100% will not support it.
But like we said, it's just really frustrating that if you are, you know, a white person with an idea and somebody in your corner with money, you just kind of get to form your own group and try to skip the line solely because your race is seen as a novelty in that context. And there's also some Eurocentrism, Anglocentrism involved. Even in Korea, Korean people are taught to idolize like a white ideal of beauty. There's colorism involved. They don't like darker skin, even in Korea. There's all these like skin lightening products.
And they have like the double eyelid surgeries to try to look more Western. And...
Yeah. We're pretty much done with the video, but I did want to get into a few other things. First of all, I just want to point out really quick that they wanted to try and act like they had fans. So they made this like color-coded lyric video. You know how whenever K-pop groups put out a song, somebody will translate it and then they'll put out a color-coded lyric video so that new people can learn who's singing what? They made one of those for themselves, which is really telling in and of itself. Also, they have the comments turned off and they've blocked your ability to view the likes and dislikes on the video. They know that the feedback is not positive.
It's very telling, yeah.
And they still have 1 million views, so they may not care that much. But they only have 20,000 subscribers.
All I can say is I will not be returning to this music video. And in the future, I don't find myself likely to support anything that they ever attempt unless it's away from K-pop.
This article posted to All K-pop. I just wanted to read this because it's so ridiculous. Posted by K-pop Superfan 2019. This post has negative 1,693 points on All K-pop, which is, they have like a rating system kind of like Reddit. So that just means that people really didn't like this.
Yeah.
UK's first K-pop girl band Kaachi makes worldwide debut. The world's first K-pop group from the UK, Kaachi, had just released their debut single, Your Turn, becoming the first European K-pop girl group to ever debut. The four-member girl group, made up of 3 different nationalities, Korean, Spanish, and British, have broken away from the traditional K-pop model by creating a groundbreaking concept of K-pop being universal and open to artists from all over the world. It's not universal. It's open to everybody, but you have to go through the Korean Idol process
In order to be legitimate.
to call yourself a Korean Idol.
That's our opinion anyway.
I think that's kind of universal. Every Korean person who is involved in the music industry but isn't associated with K-pop doesn't call themselves a K-pop artist. So why should the reverse be true? Coco is the lead dancer. I don't know who Coco is. Nicole, who is the lead vocals and the group leader. So it's not Chenso. Dani is the rapper.
I'm sorry?
Chenso is the lead dancer. Which is wild because there's apparently 2 lead dancers in this group. And she had like 90% of the lines and 90% of the screen time. So something ain't adding up there. She's not the leader and she's not listed as the visual or anything. So I'm confused. Are set to take the world by storm with their new single and music video, which fuses European pop, K-pop, and hip-hop. Where was the hip-hop? Where was that? I didn't see any. I did not see any.
Pardon?
To create a completely new spin on the K-pop genre, specifically for the European and American market. We don't want any. Sorry. Thank you.
I'm not interested. Move along.
The group's name, Kaachi, originates from the Korean word for togetherness, value, and unity. And symbolizes the group being brought together for a common purpose of creating K-pop music while fusing different countries and cultures into one unique group. That's the same thing you said in the last paragraph, just in a different way. Their debut single, Your Turn, follows the story of a girl who struggles with her ex-boyfriend, with the lyrics and music video following the girl's emotional struggle with love and breakups, something which many people can empathize with and relate to. That's a little too deep for what happened in this video.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, oh my god, my boyfriend's cheating on me. Girl, let's get over it. Let's go dance in the town with some K-pop outfits on, girl. It's gonna be fine.
Let's go do a dance cover. Woo!
That's all it was.
Pretty much, yeah.
The message behind the song is both uplifting and inspirational, showing the girl fighting through these emotions to come out on top of the world with confidence and feeling empowered. Did she write this?
She wrote that herself, didn't she? She said, oh my god, my acting is so good. Let me write this.
And then I came out on top of the world. That is not correct.
Honey, that is not correct.
Kaachi is signed to British label Front Row Records. Their director and producer, Monica Sound, which I have heard her name is actually Monica Lee, and I don't know why it got written this way, said of her group, I am so happy to showcase Kaachi to help promote the K-pop genre to new audiences while adding a British twist to the genre. In what way is that a uniquely British twist?
In what way has anyone not heard of K-pop to this day?
Yeah.
Even people that don't listen to it know who BTS is. I'll be matching with random guys on Tinder and they're just like, oh, you like K-pop, BTS? At this point, everybody knows K-pop. You don't need to do this. You just wanted to.
The group was discovered and put together after being scouted at the UK K-pop dance competition held in London, England in October last year, and has received training at 1 Million Dance Studio, Korea's most famous dance studio.
And yet they still dance like that?
Here's the thing.
Oof.
1 Million is a great dance studio, puts out great choreography. I watch a lot of their videos, but they do classes that you pay for. You can pay for a class and not be any good at dancing. They will let you go at the end of your session whether or not you learn the dance or whether or not you have things to work on. So the fact that they have trained at that place,
that doesn't really mean much.
Doesn't mean anything when you can pay for classes and they don't specify that they were scouted to go to that place, because they more than likely weren't. They are also set to appear in their very own UK TV series on Channel 4, airing this May, following their journey from ordinary girls with big dreams and aspirations to their journey of becoming K-pop stars. They're not going to become K-pop stars. So, I don't know what kind of sad-ass conclusion this show is going to have.
Why does company lie to these girls like that?
I don't know.
Oh, that's so sad.
Okay, that was pretty much it. Like, the last line was just some blurb about the video itself. Like, who did y'all pay to write that? Was it you, girl? Was it you?
She wrote it herself. That's all it was. She was just like, if there was obvious talent, if there was obvious work and dedication and money put into it the way it should be to be considered K-pop, then I would at least give it an honest chance. But this is just, it's not it. It's not.
That's kind of what we did with the XP edition. Like, we were immediately like, they're fucking, this is a meme. Like, this is bad. But they kept trying. So we kept giving them chances, and eventually we, like, heard a song where we were like, that's not that bad.
That's not the worst thing I've ever heard.
That's not that bad. I've heard K-pop groups that sound worse than that. I'm glad you've kept working on it. I don't think they're doing anything right now.
Yeah.
But
this isn't it. This is just lazy, and it's just taking advantage of what you were born with and what's popular right now to try and get ahead.
If they keep trying, they might become good someday. But again, it really pisses me off that they have the luxury of trying indefinitely and that they're not beholden to the rules that are usually enforced on people in that industry. And because they're going to keep trying, there are going to be several people that, like, are actively working at agencies right now to someday debut that may never get a chance. I didn't want to be so negative. Like, I came into this being like, I'm going to find positive things to say.
I mean, you found a couple.
But my overall perception of this is a lot more negative than I wanted it to be. And I have no control over that. It was just bad. Like, I can't help that it was bad.
Like, honestly, I wish it had been good so that I would have been like, wow, I look fucking stupid now. But I don't feel that way, and let's end this.
Yeah. Well, I've been Roxie.
Yeah, I'm Dani.
Okay, bye!
Bye! Thanks for watching.